everyone. Welcome to Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And this is Banshee's Material Matters segment. Your weekly keys to business, education, and financial success. And today you get wet hair Banshee. I took a late shower today, and as is usual, my long hair has not dried. So anyway, I wanted to tell you where the influences of astrology will be in the week ahead, where the moon will be. And I took some notes this time so I could get it right. So these are the readings for the elemental signs of the Zodiac, your material matters, for the week of September 27th through October 3rd. And the moon is moving from Aquarius through to Taurus. And I also wanted to make a note that there is a full moon in Aries on Thursday. So that's exciting for me. I always have good luck at the full moon, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm hoping everybody has a much better week than last week. We had some kind of meh cards last week, and I can't say it was a very great week for me either. It was very emotionally draining. By the end of the week, I'd had enough. So let's move forward and see if this week will be better for us. And right now I am shuffling oracle deck I'm going to use for the collective. I like to bring out my oracle decks and have you see them a bit. Oh, I forgot to mention something. I have this pyramid here in the middle. This is something I got off my desk at work. And since it's got all kinds of coins and gold baubles in there, I thought it was perfect to bring on the show today. But I'm going to move it off to the side now so we can see the cards. This deck that I'm using, I'll let you know about it in a minute. It's by Ted Andrews, great shamanic, the late Ted Andrews individual who gave us a lot of great decks and great information on magic and shamanism. And this deck is called the Feathered Omens deck. So it's all about our feathered friends. And it can be read upright or reversed, so let's see what I've got. It appears I have it upright. Oh, there's a shadow here. There we go. Is that okay? Just talking to my producer here. I do have a shadow. Okay, but anyway, it's the owl upright, and it says spirits are strong around you. Looks like this might be a week of getting some messages and omens. Spirits are strong around you. The owl has, well, let's just get to the heart of what it says about the owl. The owl provides guidance through heightening your senses, physically and spiritually. Its eyes are adapted to see the subtlest of movement with the least amount of light. Because of this, you will see subtleties that you may not have noticed before. Its hearing is just as acute as its sight. Because of this, when owl appears, you will hear undercurrents in the voices of others. Owl is telling you that help and guidance are available to you, but it is still up to you to act upon that guidance. And it's interesting to say that you will be able to kind of discern or read between the lines maybe of what you're hearing. So that's an interesting card for all of us to consider this week. And of course, for my readings today, I'll be using the Spirit Within Tarot by Stephen Bright. And we're going to start with the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And we're going to see what's going on in the material realm this week. I want to remind everybody that my partner in crime, Mr. O, every Friday does the Emotional Exchanges program where he fills you in on, your emotional well-being in the week ahead. So join him. Well, I should say watch his video, which premieres every Friday. I shouldn't say premieres. I should say that posts. My apologies for that. Okay, air signs. Let's see what we have for you. Your focus card of the week, where your attention will be on this week, is the 10 of Cups, and it's upright. Woohoo, air signs. The 10 of Cups is happiness and emotional well-being and emotional attainment. It just seems like things are falling into place for you this week, and maybe, it's with the support of others. People, it doesn't, it's kind of a card of family in a way, but our workplaces can be like family when it's at its best, of course. And so maybe there'll be a lot of support and nurturing and good feelings from the people around you this week. Let's see how that goes. So the second card is how you can best prepare yourself for what you need to focus on in the week ahead. Well, we have the King of Swords, and it's reversed. And so basically, I think with the King of Swords reversed, the way you can prepare yourself is to not make any rash, hasty judgments, and to be objective in your dealings with others this week and in the decisions that you have to make. Weigh all sides carefully. Make sure that you are thinking of the well-being of yourself and others with the decisions that you make. So card 3 is your interactions with others in the material world. Will there be cooperation or conflict? Support? Well, it's the 4 of Swords, and it is reversed. And basically, I think that means that people will kind of be bringing you back to life in some way. I think you'll be inspired by the people around you to kind of wake up and get things accomplished and get things done. They're going to be enthusiastic maybe about the things that you are doing, and you'll be able to take that energy and use it to good advantage. And finally, the last card, will there be gains or losses this week? Forward, backward movement, or possibly no movement at all? Well, I have the Empress reversed here. So what that means to me is that you might feel by week's end that you didn't get enough done, as much done as you would have liked to have done. All this energy, and maybe by week's end, you just didn't get enough accomplished. Now, I don't think that means that there's not necessarily forward progress, but I feel like you're going to be dissatisfied with some of your progress. So let's recap, air signs. Let's see what we've got. You can't beat that 10 of Cups really over there. You can't beat that. The energy is very happy around you, joy-filled, and a feeling of a sense of completion. So how do you prepare for that? By making wise judgments, and judgments that really takes everybody's concerns into account, and that shows that you care for others' well-being. And so that rewards you with people being willing to work with you and also kind of enliven you in order to get the things done you need to get done. But ultimately, and maybe this is just within you, air signs, you just feel that you could have done more, that what you did was not enough. But I tell you right now that what you did accomplished something. You have that 10 of Cups there, and I think that means that, you have achieved some type of milestone that at the very least brings some self-satisfaction. So good luck with you, air signs. I think that's a bit more positive than last week was. And we're going to move on now to the fire signs. And of course, I always look forward to hearing that message. So fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, this is for you. Your first card, your focus for the week and what you need to, focus your attention on. Dun, dun, dun. It is the Fool, and it is upright. Woohoo for that, too. I love the Fool card. We fire signs love an adventure. We love something new, and we've got it. You know, the Fool is ready to leap off that cliff into the unknown. So you are willing to take risks this week, willing to take some gambles, willing to just maybe take a different road than you've traveled before. So let's see what can help bolster that focus. What do you need to best do to best prepare yourself for that focus this week? Okay. We have the Four of Pentacles, and it is upright. And I think our focus, or what we need to bolster this focus for the week ahead, is really pay attention to how we are managing our resources. Now, when I say that, this could be your financial resources. If you're a supervisor of some sort, this could be the people in your employ and how you're deploying them, how you're making sure that they are able to get the job done. Do they have everything they need? This also could be about time management. Are you managing your time well to get things done and accomplished? Also, it could be indicative, if you're looking at your investments and your stocks, of maybe playing things just a little bit closer to the chest. Make sure that, you know, some of those daring moves that you make, maybe that you have checked a little bit first before you take that leap. It might be wise as far as, you know, investing goes. Okay, so will people help or hurt this week? Will there be conflict or cooperation with others? We have Justice, and Justice is upright. And so I think there's definitely going to be some cooperation for sure. It seems as though people are willing to do their fair share. Or help you achieve a fair outcome. So this is very positive. I think you will definitely have the support of others in whatever you're questing on this week, fire signs. And finally, will there be forward or backward movement, or no movement at all by week's end? We have the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords is reversed, which is good news. Fire signs, I would so much rather see it reversed, because what it means is basically maybe some of us are going through it by week's end because of all of this good stuff and excitement in the air. We are healing from some downturns of late, some losses. I think last week for us was kind of a difficult one, fire signs. This week is maybe a recovery period, and a very positive one. It's not just one where you're crawling back to some sense of normal. You're getting your feet into something new and exciting, and you haven't let those setbacks hold you back. So again, it looks as though we start off with a focus of the Fool, a new adventure, a new project, a new plan, a new goal, a new mission, a new investment. There are risks and gambles involved, but you are ready to make that move forward. And to bolster that, there's just an idea here that you should really make sure you have everything in place that you need to succeed, whether that's the right amount of employees, whether it's making sure they have everything they need, whether you are making sound and secure investments with the money that you have. Do not, in other words, if you're offered something new, don't throw everything into it. Maybe just test the waters first, but take that gamble, take that risk, but be careful in how you do it, if that makes sense. Fire signs, because I know how we can be sometimes. And then so finally, will people cooperate with you, help or hurt in this week ahead? Definitely, justice is there. They're willing to do their fair share, their part in helping you succeed, but also they expect something in return. Remember, this is justice, and there's the scales to balance. So make sure you balance those relations with others so that, everything will work for you. And finally, by week's end, it seems as though we are in a recovery healing process, that the moves that you have made have brought you to some level of more certainty, and more hope for the future is restored. Woohoo! Good for you, fire signs. I hope we can have a repeat for the water signs, because now it's their turn, and let's see what their week ahead will bring. And the water signs this week we have are, of course, for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. All right. Your focus card for the week ahead? Well, okay, we've got the Two of Pentacles and it is reversed. So I think basically, water signs, it's not maybe the happiest of news compared to my last two readings, but, it just means that, you're having a little struggle with your work-life balance. And maybe that's what you need to focus on this week. Are you maybe slacking off too much? Or are you in the workaholic mode? It's up to you to figure that one out. I can't do that for you. But something is out of balance and out of kilter. So if you have too much stress in your life right now, do what you need to give yourself some playtime, some relaxation time, something to de-stress and decompose from all the struggles of the day. If it's the opposite and you've been just taking it too easy, those could have repercussions. So by all means, resolve it. Don't be too lackadaisical here. People do notice. And so, and also, let's say if you're not paying attention to your investments and things of that nature, you could suffer losses that you hadn't anticipated. So be careful. And for those in school also, hey, nose to the grindstone time, and make sure, you are applying yourself, but don't pull too many late nighters, okay? It won't be good for you right now. So basically, how can you, what do you need to consider, as far as your focus goes? How can you help with this focus for the week ahead? The Seven of Pentacles is reversed. And so I would say in this case, what you need to do is really look at some of the things that have been going wrong lately for you. And maybe this kind of ties into this balance issue here, It's kind of like, if you haven't been working hard enough, do you really expect the results that you want? Do you expect, if you haven't been paying attention and moving your money in the appropriate manners in the market, that you're going to get a return on your investment? So, and do you expect that paper to write itself? So stop worrying and fretting about your plans and really put your efforts to it. And again, like I said, that doesn't mean that you do it to the point of exhaustion. You need adequate balance here, especially, I think, because I'm seeing this with with the Pentacles. You need to balance your body and, your work life. Make sure you de-stress and you don't overdo it. So what about people this week? Will they help hurt you in all of what's happening here? Well, I have the Emperor, and he is upright. And so the Emperor indicates to me that I feel that some people in authority might be very helpful to you this week. A teacher, a mentor, somebody, a leader, approach a boss if you're having difficulties with something on the job and it's really stressing you out. Somebody in a position of power and authority might be able to actually lend you a hand. And they are the rulers. They are the ones who should manage the show. They're how should I say this? The buck stops with them. And so if there are problems or difficulties, they need to help you solve them. That's their job. That's why they get paid the big bucks. So feel free to seek them out. And finally, will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all this week? Well, good news for you water signs. I'm holding a water card in my hand, and it's a repeat from a previous reading. It's the Ten of Cups upright. And so that, as the final card, is really, truly awesome to me. It seems to me by week's end, despite these imbalances, it looks as though you will be very emotionally satisfied with how the week ends. So with that, we're going to recap this because I think I can maybe pull it all together here so you can see that. So basically, the Two of Pentacles reversed is saying that, there's a need to focus on balancing your work-life situation. You need to make sure that, the scale, that everything is kind of in balance here. And I feel that that some of you may be overdoing it and some of you may not be doing enough. And that's kind of magnified by this card here that helps you best prepare for your focus. It's kind of like there's a lot of worrying and fretting over what's already a done deal in a way. You've already put the work into a project or goal. Maybe there's more that needs to be done, but you can't do that if you're worrying and stressing and you're overworked or you're slacking off because you're tired out. So make sure you're really preparing yourself for this week ahead, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Meditate if you need to. Take a long shower or bath. Go for walks. Do something that, pulls you out of that overwork mode. And then get down to the business that you really need to do. And so ultimately, accomplishing all of that, if you are still having some things that just aren't working out for you, I believe that somebody in authority, a position of authority, will be able to help you. It could be an instructor in school if you're having problems figuring out a paper. It could be an investment advisor. It is somebody who rules that area. If it's your workplace, it is obviously a boss or a manager who is there to solve the big picture problems, because you are there to be the productive worker. So let them help you, because I do believe somebody in a higher position will be there to assist you this week. And ultimately, maybe because of that help, and maybe because you have followed Dr. Banshee's orders, and by the way, I am not a doctor, I'm just joking, that you follow my advice, you take some time to de-stress and, balance whatever it is that is out of kilter in your work-life balance. You will achieve a happy ending, you will be emotionally fulfilled, and you will feel like something has truly gotten accomplished, that you have made progress. And that's what I have for you water signs next week. Good luck for you. And hey, earth signs, can we make it 4 out of 4? I certainly hope so. You are up. And that's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. All right. Your focus card for the week ahead, what you need to focus your attention on. We have the Hermit, and the Hermit is reversed. So maybe it's time to come out of your shell a little bit, earth signs. Maybe it's time to understand that maybe you don't have all of the answers. And maybe sometimes you feel like some of the advice you've been given is not trusted. So I think you have to come out of your shell a little bit and, don't necessarily rely on your gut and don't necessarily rely on others. Do the research. Do the research yourself and uncover whatever it is that you feel you need to uncover. I feel that, this is a period where maybe isolation or being a lone wolf will not serve you well. You will need to work with others, but I feel that ultimately it's up to you to discern fact from fiction and things like that, and to make decisions for yourself. So how can you best prepare for that? Well, we have the Five of Swords, and it's up right here, signs. It's a little interesting here. It's almost as if you kind of have to take from a situation what you need. You yourself have to determine what it is you need and grab it. Because I have a feeling nobody's going to give it to you. And as a matter of fact, some people might be withholding it from you. And that includes the information that you need. Because I feel as though somebody might be withholding some facts or information that's important for your progress. And so you might have to do some little sneaky stuff to uncover that. And sometimes, you know, it's not always a good thing to be a sneak or a snitch, but sometimes it's about self-preservation, basically. So let's see what the next card brings, because this is about your relations with others. Will there be cooperation or conflict in the week ahead? Well, I think ultimately we have the Ace of Wands here, which is an awfully good card. I think that you stand to gain, you know, if you work with others constructively, and maybe you stand to gain something new. There might be a new opportunity that arises from your dealings with others. So maybe if you yourself are upfront with others, you know, others will reciprocate. And something new will happen or develop. There might be a new project, new growth. It's possibility some of you who are looking for jobs may even find a job. Excuse me. I need a drink. There we go. Blah, 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 and that's what happens. Some of you might be getting a job or a tip for, you know, a new opportunity through the people around you. So eyes and ears, and we'll try to wrap all this up because some of these cards seem a little conflicting, especially now that I've reached the end. So, will there be forward or backward movement for you? I have the Nine of Cups, and it's reversed. So, apparently, Earth signs, this could be a rather topsy-turvy week for you. Ultimately, in the end, you really don't feel like you've accomplished what you've wanted to this week. Some of your plans may fail. Some of them may be delayed. There's disappointment. There's some disappointment in the end. So I'm going to try to recap this and see if we can't put it all together. But I have to say, it is a bit of a hodgepodge here for you, Earth signs. So the Hermit card here indicates to me that maybe it's time for you to get out of your shell. It's time for you to consider that no man is an island and that you need to work with others to achieve success. But then when we get here to how you best prepare for that, it indicates to me that others may be holding something that you want and desire. And it could be information that you need to forge ahead, but they're not necessarily willing to give it to you. So sometimes you have to grab for it. You have to go for it. You have to go for the opportunities that you need. But, you know, ultimately, too, if you're not too pushy about it, if you do it in subtle, quiet ways, people may be willing to work with you and offer you some other opportunities. This just may also be a sign that may not be for all of this Ace of Wands this week. This Ace of Wands, I almost have a feeling, is for people who are actually trying to promote a new project or opportunity or goal, or who have been looking for employment or a job. I think the success lies through others this week. You might get a tip. You might get some success through working with others in that regard. But ultimately, there's a number of you Earth signs who are going to feel like very dissatisfied. Maybe you will get this job offer and it is not what you envisioned it to be. Maybe you will get a new opportunity, but there's a lot of hard work involved and obstacles to surmount to get there. So ultimately, by week's end, you feel you really haven't achieved what you desire. You still have, if you pardon me with the Rolling Stones song, you still haven't found what you're looking for. So I don't think it's a really terrible week, but there's gonna be some definite struggles this week for a number of you Earth signs, and it may not be everybody. I feel some people may come out ahead with this Ace of Wands. So that's what I have for you guys this week.
That was U2's song. Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
I have been corrected by my producer. That was not a Rolling Stone song. That was a U2 song. And I feel very embarrassed about that. So, we'll just chalk this off as a great blooper for the future. But it's definitely you still haven't found what you're looking for, Earth signs. And sometimes it's handy to have a producer when you make a mistake like that. So, thank you, Mr. Producer. But at any rate, I wish you all success, and I want to remind everybody one more time that my producer, Mr. O, has a show on Fridays, and it's his Emotional Exchanges show where he will tell you about your emotional temperature for the week ahead. So everybody, please join him and join me again next week for another adventure where maybe I won't make such a terrible goof with rock and roll music. Take care, everybody, and goodbye for now.